We will continue with the chapter current electricity to know about Ohm's law. Let's see the first term, electrical resistance. So electrical resistance is a current resistive property of a wire or a conductor. Here this is the conductor, suppose a wire, and this is the negative end and this is the positive potential. So there is a potential difference in between the ends of the wire, and that's why the electrons, that is the charge, tend to move toward the positive end. That means there is a flow of charge. Now the p letter are also given there. Those p letter refers the position of proton. The protons are fixed in the conductor, they are not moved anywhere, but the protons are stable and they are resisting the flow of electron toward this, like that. Okay, so you can easily understand that when the proton is present here, the proton has positive charge. So when the electron try to passes through this proton, then what happened? The proton will affect the movement of electron. Definitely the proton, the positively charged particle, will affect the movement of the negatively charged particle electron. So in this way there is a resist there is a resistance in the flow of electron or in the flow of charge. So this is the resistance, and this resistance of a wire is the obstruction or the resistive property offered by the body of the conductor due to the presence of proton. Okay, body of the conductor or wire. Now the other physical factor, like if we consider about the temperature of this wire, of this conductor, then the temperature will affect the flow of electron. How it is affect? See, with the increase in temperature, with a with increasing temperature, the resistance of the wire increases. As why the resistance increases? That means the resistive property of the wire increases when the temperature increases. Why? So the answer is here, as the collision within the wire increases. That means here, when the temperature of this wire increases, the kinetic energy of those electron increases, and the electrons are rapidly collide with the proton, and in this way the electrons are resisted. That means there is a resistance, the electrons become slow, their movement becomes slow. Here it is clearly mentioned that within the collision within the wire increases and slow the flow of current, that means slow the flow of electron. So in this way the amount of charge determined by the temperature. So here whatever the charge, that means whatever the current flow out, it is determined by the temperature coefficient. So basically the temperature will affect the flow of current. Okay, indirectly we can say that it will affect the flow of electron or flow of charge. So whenever we study about the current, the flowing of current through a conductor, we have to think about, we have to take care about this temperature. We have to make the temperature stable for this particular conductor, correct? Now see this one, the sources of electric current. Here this one is a very common figure that you all know, very common picture. This is a electrical socket, and here this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal. Okay, so here in between this positive terminal and negative terminal there is a potential difference, and this potential difference V is equal to 220 volt. Suppose we connected a wire here at the positive terminal and then to the negative terminal, then it will become a short circuit. Okay, but it is said that whenever the wire is connected here and here, then on the wire the current will flow to this, like this. Suppose the wire is starting from, suppose this wire is starting from here to this negative terminal, then what happened? From this wire the current will flow. Okay, like here we have in the electric cell, this is the positive terminal and this is the negative terminal, and the potential difference in those, in between those two terminal, in between those two end, is given as 5 volt. Okay, now suppose this is the wire connected, so we will say that at the ends of the wire, at the ends of the conductor, the potential difference is 5 volt. Okay, so here the potential is positive and here the potential is negative, so we'll say that the current will flow like that, correct? So the current will start from the positive end and it will go out here to the negative terminal of the battery of the electric cell. Now suppose here given V is 220 volt, that means the potential difference, that is the voltage given 220 volt, and here the potential difference is 5 volt. So if we want to know the current, so here the current will be, suppose it is taken with small I, with the letter small I, so it is in ampere, and here it is capital I. So there are two current. Now here you can see the current I depend on the potential difference V in between those two, in between the two ends of the conductor. So here this one is the conductor, okay, and whatever the potential difference in between the ends, this one is one of the end and this one is other end. So whatever the potential difference in between the ends of the conductor, in that potential difference the current will depend. Okay, so uh, if I ask you a question that if the potential difference is here 220 volt and here the potential difference is 5 volt, so which current is greater, whether it is I small I is greater or capital I is greater, then your answer will be quite common. You will say that small I, that means here for 220 volt whatever the current we get, this current will be greater. Okay, and you are correct, this one is the greater current. Now see the Ohm's law. Yeah, here by your common idea you are saying that this I is greater, the small I, that means for this 220 volt whatever the current you will get, it is greater. But here there is a proof of this answer, so this proof is done with the Ohm's law. Now the statement of Ohm's law, as I have said about the temperature, don't forget about temperature. We are uh, we will take the temperature stable, that means we will take the temperature constant for a particular conductor or wire. So here the statement of Ohm's law started with that part. Okay, at constant temperature with unchanged physical condition, unchanged physical condition, that means there is no any pressure difference, the temperature will remain constant like that. So at constant temperature with unchanged physical condition, the current I flowing through a conductor is directly proportional to the potential difference V across the ends of that conductor. Okay, suppose we have a conductor and the current will pass through the conductor. This current will directly proportional, this current is directly proportional to the potential difference in between the ends of the conductor. Okay, suppose this one is the conductor, this one is the conductor, so whatever the current will flow through this conductor, it is completely depend on this volt, that means whatever the potential difference here. Directly proportional means if the current is now whatever the amount of current we are getting here, suppose this 5 volt is become 10 volt, that means the current the voltage, the potential difference become 2 times, so we will say that the current also become 2 times. This is what we call the directly proportional. Suppose the voltage become 3 times, that means 15 volt, then the current become 3 times, 3 times to the initial value, correct. So here suppose we are taking that the potential difference initially V1, then the current is I1. Suppose the potential difference increases, that means the voltage increases, so we have V2, the increased value. Okay, so the current will also increase up to I2. And in the third condition we have decreased the potential difference, that is voltage now become V3. Okay, it is decreased, so the current, whatever the amount of current we are getting here, it is also a decreased value. So this current will determined, this current will be determined in a circuit by connecting with an ampere, ammeter. If we connect an ammeter in a circuit, then we will get the amount of, we will get the amount of current flowing through the circuit, correct. And for the voltmeter we can use the for the voltage, that means for the potential difference we can use the voltmeter, or we know that what are the electric cells, how many electric cells, and what is the reading of electric cell. Like here we can assume that this one is a 5 volt, if two cells are used, so this will become 10 volt, like that. But we can use the voltmeter also. So overall, the main thing is that it is found that the current whenever the voltage changes, the current will also changes at the same rate. So we have the ratios, that means here the ratio of this V1 and I1 is equal to the ratio of this V2 I2, and this is equal to V3 divided by I3. So always we are getting a constant. Okay, this is called constant of proportionality. So we'll say that V is directly proportional to I. Remember that this is not written here, but V is directly proportional to I. You can write like that, V is directly proportional to I, correct? Okay, so here if the proportionality sign is, suppose we have like that na, so this is R, V is proportional to R, and suppose we remove the proportionality sign, then we have to put a proportionality constant here. So we have V equal to R into I. So here R is the proportionality constant. Okay, this is R into I. Okay now, so we have V I into R. This is what we have. Or we can say that this V by I is always a constant R. So this constant R is called the resistance of the conductor. Okay, so this constant is called the resistance of the conductor. So what will be the unit of resistance? So see here, the unit of resistance is equal to V by I, that means voltage by ampere. So it is volt per ampere, and it is in SI. This sign is called ohm. So ohm is the SI unit of the resistance, electrical resistance. Okay, so if we have 1 ohm, then it will be 1 volt divided by 1 ampere. That means, so yeah, it is a task given, you have to define 1 ohm. So one numerical is solved here. An electric bulb, you have to define 1 ohm. Okay, you can easily define by the previous ideas. You can write like that, when 1 ampere of current passes through a conductor, like that. So here see this one, this numerical, an electric bulb draws a current. So the current is given here, and the potential difference of the battery is given, it is 6 volt. So we have I and we have V. So V is given, I is given. So I is in milliampere, so it is converted into ampere. Okay, in the SI unit. So 120 divided by 1000 ampere, it will be 0.12 ampere. And now R equal to V by I, this is the formula, equal to 6 by 0.12. We have 50 ohm as the answer. So for the electric bulb, the resistance of the filament is 50 ohm. This is the answer. See the next point. We have VI graph. VI graph, voltage versus current graph. That means potential difference versus current graph. So here this one is the graph, and according to Ohm's law, whenever we will take a particular value of V, we have I. Then if V is increases with the same rate, I is also increases. So if V is again increases, then with the same rate, I, that is the current, will also increase. So in this way we will get a straight line on this VI graph. Okay, and see here, as from the graph, this del V, that means this del V is like that. So here V minus VA, oh sorry, it is VA minus VV is equal to del V, and here for I it is IC minus ID. Okay, so this is become this del I. Okay, so the slope on this line gives the resistance here. So R equal to resistance equal to slope, that is del V by del I, or we can say in the place of del V it is VA minus VV divided by IC minus ID, like that. So this will give the resistance. So the slope here in the VI graph gives the resistance, and this one is a graph of ohmic resistance, remember that. Okay, so what is ohmic resistance? See the next page. Here we have ohmic and non-ohmic resistance. So for the ohmic resistance, the definition is like that: Ohm's law does not holds good. See, Ohm's law does not holds good for certain conductors, and for those conductor that obey the Ohm's law are called ohmic resistors, and those who does not are called, those conductors which do not obey the Ohm's law are called non-ohmic. So non-ohmic means which do not obey Ohm's law, and ohmic means which obey the Ohm's law. Here you can see for the non-ohmic conductor or non-ohmic resistor, we have the graph like that. Here the variation of V and I is not uniform. See, it is represented with a curved line. That means the V is not directly proportional to I. Okay, V is changing, and at that rate I is not changing. So simply here, if we want to get the resistance, so that means for a particular conductor, like example is given, the conductor is LED, light emitting diode, transistor, junction diode. So like solar cell is also one of the examples. So in those particular conductors, the voltage is that means the potential difference is does not vary directly to the current. So that's why we are getting a slope here, not slope, a curve line here. And if we want to get the resistance, then for a particular point we will draw the tangent, and this tangent will give us the slope on this tangent. The slope of this tangent will give us the resistance. So here the resistance is dynamic, the resistance is changes at different point. Okay, that means for V, for a particular value of V and I, the resistance will not remain constant. It will vary. So the resistance is dynamic here for non-ohmic resistors. So this is done for ohmic and non-ohmic resistors. Now see the next page, we have here the conductance. So what is conductance? It is the reciprocal of resistance, and it is denoted with a small letter g, with a small g. And the definition of conductance is given here. The conductance, which is also called electrical conductance, is defined as the degree of a substance to conduct electricity. That means a given conductor, how it is able to conduct the electricity. So this degree is measured with the conductance. If I say that one conductor has greater conductance, that means it is more able to conduct electricity. Okay, so here the conductance is the measure of how easily electrical current can pass through a material or a conductor. Material means a conductor, correct? So the conductor is the reciprocal of resistance. See, R means R is the property of resisting the flow of current. So if we have 1 by R, so that means it is just the reciprocal of R. So as R increases, that means the conductance decreases. And if so conduct I'm sorry, if R, it is 1 by R na, so suppose R increases, then what happened? If R increases, then the value of conductance decreases. Okay, so we'll say that R increases, that means the resistive property increases, so the value of conductance decreases, so degree of conducting current decreases, correct? Now the unit of G, that is unit of conductance, G is per ohm, which is also called Siemens. Okay, and see, this one is the graph that this is the I versus V graph, that is the reciprocal of VI graph. So here we have IV graph, and this gives the conductance of a particular conductor, and the slope on this line gives the conductance like that, which is the reciprocal of R. I am repeating this word once again. Suppose we increase the resistance for a particular wire. If the resistance increases, that means the wire, the conductor is with less conductive nature. So we will say that the conductance decreases. Correct na? Okay. Now we have the next page. Okay. So this completes the topic.